Hi everyone! Happy new moon in Aries, how are you? Trying to get the lighting right here. It's usually not daytime when we do this, but the last couple have been and I've been loving it. I mean, it is cards and coffee, which you need, so it makes sense to do it in the daytime. I don't know if any of you will be able to catch this live though, because that's fine because of, you know, work. But yeah, I will definitely post this later and you can catch it then. Today we're going to be using the Modern Witch Tarot, and it's a really great deck. Super, you know, the reason I wanted to use it is because the Oscars were just on recently and the red carpet got me thinking about fashion, and I just love the fashion in this, and I do love the modernness of it, and that it's like all women. Let's see. It says, Modern Witch Tarot is a magical take on traditional tarot symbolism, inspired by fashion and modern witches from every walk of life. Spark your imagination, seek your inner wisdom, and discover your true power. Yes, it's just total Aries vibes. And then for clarifiers, I was going to do the Hermetic Tarot, just because I've been talking with one of my clients recently, and she had expressed an interest in this deck, so I wanted to kind of like give a preview. And always let me know if there's a deck that you're working with that you feel called to, because I would love to, you know, use that as a reason to explore that deck. I'm not even going to say excuse, because it's what I do, so I love exploring the different decks. And the Sage Goddess had posted a tarot reading, like a little mini tarot reading the other day, and it was a gorgeous deck. I'm gonna have to go back and check. It was like, the cards were black with like gold stamping, and just gorgeous. I need to figure out what that one was. But anyhow, so that's what we'll be using. Now let's talk about the energies at play. So Aries, new moon. That's just one part of it. Because Aries, so Aries is a cardinal fire sign. I believe it's cardinal, yeah. And so what does that mean? Fire signs are all about action, in particular Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. It deals with the house, the first house, which is self, and connection with the bigger universe. So it's like your own connection to the larger whole. And yeah, and your place in that. And in addition to it being a new moon in Aries, it's also conjunct Chiron. So what is Chiron? So Chiron is an asteroid referred to as the wounded healer. So in addition to this new moon being about, oh, hi Rob, what's going on, love? So in addition to this like new moon being about your power, really, to manifest anything, because it is the first new moon of the astrological year, with Chiron being conjunct. Oh, it's not letting me wave at you. I hate when it does that. What? I'm sorry, but hello. Yeah, so in addition to it being new moon Aries, when it's conjunct with Chiron, that brings up an opportunity for immense healing. And that's the other side that I really wanted to touch on today of new moons in general. You know, we do talk a lot about planting seeds of intention, but something my teacher was discussing the other day that I kind of forget to say sometimes is that new moons are also really good for releasing. That is what they're good for. And to call something in, first you want to release what's old, what's the clutter, you know what I mean? It's like the spring cleaning. Every month you get a chance to not only call in new things, but declutter your soul first so that you have room for those new things. And I find a really good day to do this. It's not just the new moon, but the day before the new moon. So for people on the East Coast, that would have been yesterday. And so, Rob, I hope I didn't hit a button, by the way. I'm really sorry if I did. Yeah. So the people on the East Coast, that would have been yesterday, because the moon went direct, like it was directly new at 2:24 Eastern Standard Time. So on the West Coast, that would have been yesterday at, I believe, 11:24. Oh, it's kind of windy. I'm probably going to have to close that window eventually. But yeah, so the day before the new moon is called the dark moon, and that is the perfect day for releasing. So what might you be releasing around this moon? For me, the biggest thing would be fear. Of course, I have my sodalite generator upstairs because I've been working with it. But sodalite, Sodalite, is a stone that really helps with releasing fear. But like, you can pick what it is for you and what you want to release. And before you set your intentions, it's really good to pick at least one thing that you're releasing, so you can clear the space for what wants to come in. And if you want to pick multiple things, this is also the new moon to do it, because certain moons are good for certain things. You know, like next lunar cycle will be a new moon in Taurus, and that will be good for working with money, because Taurus is, you know, it's an earth sign, and it's in the tarot, it's associated with pentacles, and it's just the money moon. But Aries really can be about anything, because Aries talks about your passions, your desires. So anything that's blocking that from coming in that you know is in your life, like say it's, oh, I don't know, like a work situation, friendship that's not serving you and is toxic. Oh, hello. Hello, shalom. Welcome in. But yeah, so whatever that is for you, either yesterday or today, either the day before the new moon or on the new moon itself, I would really just do it both days. You can never release too much, you know what I mean? There's usually always something that we can further release. I would definitely just like make the intention to, I release this to the universe. And honestly, just writing it down before your new moon intentions is going to do a lot. My teacher showed us a thin a cord narrowing ritual yesterday, and if you are interested in that, I'll just like briefly go over it. But what you would want to do is you cord with people right above your belly button. So if you take your two fingers and you just like do that, this is where your solar plexus chakra is, and that's the core of who you are. It deals with your willpower, your determination, your manifestation abilities. So what you would want to do to release would be to, you could use your pendulum if you wanted to, and that's what I did. You might even feel it once you set that intention where it is physically on your body. And so like yesterday for me, example, it was here. And you would just kind of like, you go around in a circular motion. I don't know, my teacher did it so quickly, and you just release it, you narrow it. You set the intention, and I would do clockwise to just narrow the cord. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But if you're not comfortable with like taking it that far, you can always just write down your intentions, because your handwriting is magic, and you know, writing that you want to release something lets the universe know. Another great way that's super easy is putting your hands on the floor, like making direct contact with the floor, and sending any energies down that you want to transmute into the center of the earth. And that's just what you say, like, I send down these energies of fear and anxiety, anything that's fear and anxiety, with the intention to transmute them into positive energy. And that's that, you know? So I did want to mention that, especially with this Chiron influence that we have going on. It's going to be a good thing to do, because Chiron is the wounded healer, and it's cool to, like, if you can look at your birth chart to see where that is. For me, it's in Gemini in the first house. So any wounding around communication, which is funny because I was a communications major in college, but that doesn't mean I'm like an expert at it, you know, like from just like previous trauma, like maybe where there wasn't communication. So how can I use that, what's considered my weakness, as my strength? And really it's a matter of just like looking at what that is for you. And even if it doesn't match up what your Chiron is, like, it's just going to bring up the opportunity for immense healing by looking at the wound. by accepting the wound and therefore healing it, because through looking at it, you bring it to the surface where it can be healed. Suppressing things does not heal. It keeps the dis-ease in your body, and it's not good. So like today is a huge chance and opportunity to allow whatever comes to the surface to come to the surface and set the intention to heal. So it would be a great day, in addition for setting intentions around anything you want, really, with the moon being in Aries, to set intentions around healing. And you don't have to stop there. Like, it can be healing and stepping into my power, healing and calling in a new relationship, calling in a new job, calling in anything that's going to fuel your passions and your desires, because that's really what Aries is all about, and kind of like, you know, how you're showing up for yourself and how you want to show up for yourself in a bigger way. So in addition to that, Mercury is also in Aries, and that is the planet that rules communication. So for me, like, I would just be a little bit mindful, you know, the Oscars happen, like how you communicate, because you can communicate with passion and use that to your advantage. Sometimes Aries are known to let their temper get the best of them, but sometimes it's because they're right. Like, my teacher's always like, oh, Aries are usually right. Like, they're here to be right, which, you know, you tell someone that, I feel like it's going to go to their head, but, you know, sometimes people are right. Sometimes they're righteously angry about something or whatnot, but, you know, it's not going to serve you to communicate that way, like through anger, but you can communicate through passion while keeping it, you know, respectful so that you're actually heard. So that is the energies at play. Hopefully I didn't talk too long about that, but I did want to mention it because I didn't get a chance to say. I just did a brief reel yesterday, and the energy that was on tap yesterday was the Queen of Pentacles. So, you know, Queen of Pentacles, Pentacles are your finances, your resources, they're opportunities that are manifesting in your physical world. And the Queen, upright, which she was, has control over it. But it's not just money. It's like abundance of things that do bring you joy and passion, whatever you would consider to be abundance. That's what she's holding. It's fertile energy. Very similar to the energy of the major arcana card, the Empress. So those are the energies at play today. And definitely this is a new moon where you want to write down your intentions. I was writing them down last night. I filled a couple pages up. Like, do not be afraid to ask the universe, not to ask, to thank the universe for what you want. Because when you thank it, you call it in and you claim it. And you can also say, I claim, if, you know, saying thank you is like hard, although I do both. I claim, you know, passion and desire in my life. Or you could also word it in a way like, thank you for bringing new love into my life. Thank you for opening my heart. Thank you for letting me be in a state of total and perfect health. You know, whatever it is for you. But thank you, and I claim, and I am. When you say I am, you invoke God. You invoke the universe, however you look at your creator. So those are some good ways to work with that energy and set those intentions, but definitely write stuff down this time around. I mean, I always do, but like, you can, this is some big energy. Fire is expansion, you know, it's expansive energy. And Aries is, I mean, if you know anyone who's an Aries, you know, they're like, they bring the heat. They spark something in you, usually, and so it's really powerful energy to work with. I'm a Sagittarius, and my North Node is in Aries, which is like your life purpose, so I feel very connected to the energy, and whenever the moon is in Aries, it's just a really powerful time for me. It's also the beginning of spring, so, you know, this is a fertile time already, so just buckle up, get ready, and if you're clear on what you want, the possibilities are literally limitless. So with that, I'm going to open the circle and we're going to see what's going on. All right, if you guys just want to roll your shoulders back, call your energy into present time, I'm going to call in the guides and guardians of the 4 directions and the element of spirit. Here we go. I welcome in the guides and guardians of the East, element of air. Thank you so much for being here today to give us messages around new beginnings, new chapters, and new doors that are opening for us that will serve our highest good. Let us know which of those new chapters and doors we're meant to walk through at this time. I welcome you into the circle with so much gratitude. Guides and guardians of the South, element of fire, I welcome you into the circle with so much gratitude. Thank you for giving us messages. Aries is a fire sign, and so we welcome you, guides and guardians, especially today, of the South, of the fire element, to help us with expanding our goals, our intentions, to breathing fire onto the flame of our soul's desires and passions. Thank you for letting us call them in a positive way that allows for the most positive transformation to occur that will serve our highest good and the highest good of all. How can we use our own fire to better our lives and the lives of others? We welcome you into this circle with so much gratitude. Guides and guardians of the West, element of water, thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for giving us messages around all that needs cleansing and purification, as this new moon and every new moon is important for releasing and the chance to not only call in new things, but wash away all that no longer serves our highest good. Thank you for giving us messages around emotional healing and any cleansing and purification that needs to occur, as well as any messages around new love coming in and what abundance and flow we can expect to see in the coming lunar cycle. I welcome you into the circle with so much gratitude. Guides and guardians of the North, element of earth, thank you for being here under this Aries new moon to keep us patient, to keep us grounded, and to keep us peaceful. Earth bounces out fire in the great wheel, and we thank you for that. Thank you for letting our passions take roots and grow and expand. And also in the element of earth, in the direction of north, we welcome in the guides and guardians of love and light and ancestors of love and light that want to be here today. I welcome you into the circle with so much gratitude. And finally, I welcome in the element of spirit that breathes life into all of the elements and all of us. Spirit is the element of ether, of magic, of creation. And I welcome you into the circle with so much gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I welcome in all guides and guardians of love and light and nothing else. And with that, the circle is open. The circle is open. Amen. Blessed be harm none. It is done, it is done, it is done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen. And so it is. Woof! Went somewhere there. I'm always nervous that I've hit some button when no one is live, but I think we're good because it says live. So hopefully this is recording. Alrighties, but definitely if you're here, please wave, say hi. Because sometimes I feel like it just does a weird thing where somebody is live and it doesn't show. So anywho, we're gonna start off with the Modern Witch Tarot, okay? And before we get started, I actually am gonna burn some Palo Santo because I totally forgot to do that. Palo Santo is really good for physical healing as well. So it's antibacterial and antimicrobial, like sage is, but in particular really good for physical healing and bringing in positive energy. And if you're someone who doesn't like the smell of sage, which I love the smell of sage, but if you're someone who doesn't, you might want to give this a try because it has a totally different smell, totally similar, metaphysical properties, but not the same. And yeah, you might like this. Forgot right, sorry about that. So yeah, when you're saging, just make sure, or smudging it with any sort of thing, make sure it goes through all your fingers. So you want to open them up so that it goes through, because your hands are just your most important tool. And I'm going to bring some of that smoke to you. Your phone is a really good thing to sage because it takes in so much energy. We're always on it. Here's my feather. So there we go. And then always like put it behind you too, because energy does get stuck there. It's kind of tricky to do, but you know, just be really careful about it. So pass it behind you. Ah. Okay. Take this off. It's making me nervous. Give me 1 second. And I like to do it 3 times. But I might just do it 2 today. So I don't give myself a heart attack. Set myself on fire here. Alright. And another great thing to do, because it is antibacterial and antimicrobial, is just to inhale. If you feel called. Don't have to though. Alright, so... And if you do use obsidian, or obsidian's a really good tool for releasing, by the way, because it's hardened fire. That's what the Aztecs considered it. It comes from lava. So it's very protective in nature and good for clearing. You do wanna sage that before and after you use it to narrow or cut any cords, or even just meditate with. You know, I find it's always good to sage your crystals. And how you do that, you can do it by doing like kind of well, I can't do it while it's on the camera, but like kind of like circles around it, whatever clockwise is. I just let it run through, honestly, like that. All right, because I think I was using the obsidian yesterday. I usually use black kyanite to release. This is one of my favorite crystals. So real quick before we get into the cards, this will clear anything. Like, so you could just tap it to a crystal and it's clear. You can put it on your chakras, which is what I do every day. And it will clear that. You can run it on your hands, like so, over your fingers. It feels so good too. This one is so beautiful. I think I got it from the Sage Goddess. It's like so flat and perfect little broom. It's like an energetic broom that allows you just to sweep away the old energy. Somehow I've got something on my hand already. Okay, so let's get into the card, shall we? All right. So if you guys want to roll your shoulders back and call your energy in the present time, I'm going to say one more quick prayer, and then we'll see what the cards have to say. I'm thinking I'm going to do 4 shuffles just to connect in with the energy of the month. Happy April, by the way. No April Fool's jokes here, but I hope you find some good ones today and laugh, because laughter is so important. All right, here we go. Unless I can think of one, you know. Not the best of... I'm like a very literal person, so when I'm funny, it's not because I'm trying. It's because I'm probably doing something embarrassing. But here we go. All right. Dear God and Goddess, thank you for giving us messages that will serve our highest good and the highest good of all. Thank you for giving us messages of the highest love, light, and truth, and messages around how we can call in our deepest desires and passions in a way that allows for the most positive transformation to occur. All right. Amen. Blessed be. Harm none. It is done. It is done. It is done. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Amen. Aho. And so it is. Okay. All right, here we go. Like I said, I'm going to do 4 shuffles. So Aries in the Major Arcana is represented by the Emperor, which is like the CEO, if you will, of the company. So this new moon is also like a lot about how you're leading your own life. Like, it's, so when we say self, that's what we're talking about. It's like, how are you taking action to manifest your dreams? So that is what the Emperor is. The Emperor is somebody who creates strong structures. You know what I'm saying? They're not playing around. Can be a serious energy, but it's kind of serious work. I think that was 3. And we'll do 1 more. All right, interesting. The cards are shuffling slower than I would have thought, but all good. Okay. Here we go. Let's see what wants to come out. Oof. Okay. Okay. And just to keep in mind that Chiron is at play here, this wounded healer, so that could come up, like what needs to be healed is a big part of this moon too, so keep that in mind. So the first card that I saw is this Temperance card. So Temperance is actually the card associated with the zodiac sign Sagittarius. However, it obviously is talking about more than just that. Whenever I see Temperance, I think a couple things. I think divine timing is at play. So the healing that's coming up to do now, or whatever's coming up right now, is divinely timed. You can trust the timing is right, which is really comforting. And, you know, not only is the timing right, but there is, what this card asks you to do is to look at where in your life needs balance and moderation. And she's pouring ether into the cup there, and or water. Truthfully, I feel like I always get it confused because the star is ether. But she's basically like bouncing her emotional truths, her connection to spirit really is what I feel with Temperance. I mean, I love that she's portrayed as an angel with these badass red wings. Red is the color of Aries, by the way. It just is. So, you know, she's bouncing out her passions in a way that's going to serve her highest good. She's bouncing out her connection with spirit and the world in a way that's going to serve her highest good. She's connecting in with it and finding out where her balance is, which is going to be different for everyone. So yeah, beautiful card there, Temperance. And then oftentimes the second card that comes out is the block in the tarot. That's something we're struggling with, you know what I mean? So we have Ace of Swords in reverse. So what we might be blocking right now, and could set an intention around releasing, is something that we're not letting ourselves have clarity over, and seeing. It could be that, or because upright, it talks about aces are gifts always from the universe, the rewards, and it talks about when it's Ace of Swords, a gift of truth and clarity coming in. So we're obviously confused here, but the ace is always coming in. Like the universe is always giving you that gift. Just in reverse, you may not be able to see the gift in a communication you receive. It might be harsh, or you just might not be able to see and you're like searching for clarity, but haven't let yourself have it. So, I mean, I definitely think any intentions around clarity would be really good with this card, and turn that upright. And the next card's pretty telling. So, first card out in our present is Five of Swords. So, Five of Swords, fives always talk about change in the tarot. Often they do talk about conflict. It can be uncomfortable energy, but change is the only thing that remains constant in this world. So it comes up a lot, you know, for all of us. And what Five of Swords talks about is recognizing what's toxic in your environment and being able to identify that, and then, you know, hopefully walking away from it, but it's very much so about what's toxic. So, yeah, this is definitely releasing. And those doesn't have to be actual things, because with swords, it could be thoughts, like negative mindsets, negative thoughts of doubt, of whatever it is for you. But yeah, and so your own toxicity too is always like a thing to look at, but also like in your external environment as well. And then just asking for the releasing of that, because that might be what brings in this sword, this clarity, you know what I mean, is to identify what is cluttering your mind. So really interesting. And I like that it's upright, that we've only got one reverse so far. All right, let's see what else is coming. Oh, jeez. Okay, that was too many. Hold on. Alrighty. Oh. Alright. I feel like that one was upright, though. Yeah. Wow. Never dull moment with tarot, you know? You always think, well, how many combinations can you get? Endless with these 78 cards, man. It's always a new vibe. Okay, so next out was the Seven of Wands. Interesting. I watch a YouTube channel called Archangel Guidance, and she's one of my other teachers. Her name is Sandy, the woman who runs the channel. It's on YouTube, and she does amazing tarot card readings. Like, literally, she's taught me the tarot through her readings because she's just so knowledgeable and intuitive and just really wonderful. And I was watching a reading from her today. Shout out to Archangel Guidance, thank you. And this card came up. And what the Seven of Wands talks about is feeling the need to defend yourself, which you can kind of clearly see from the picture here. She's fighting off all those other opinions. And it is victory, like, but it's also kind of like draining at the same time. Because the Six of Wands is the victory card. Seven of Wands is like, you feel like you need to defend yourself. So it doesn't really feel like victory, even if you win, because you're never really gonna win over everyone. You're not. So this is definitely showing us, this reading, the blocks and challenges, and things we need to be aware of so that we can release or find ways that are productive to work with this energy. So knowing that you're not going to be able to please everyone is so freeing, because then you can just be you. And that is what this new moon is truly asking you to do, to not be a people pleaser. It's really tempting a lot of the times. And like when I do these readings, I'm talking to myself too. When I watch them back, I'm like, God, Jane, you need to like take your own advice. But like, if you're doing something just to please somebody else, you're not connecting with your own passions and desires, and you're just simply never going to be able to please everyone. So please yourself, because that's when you do your best work. That's when you show up as your best self, your most authentic self. That is the self that counts, that you want to grow and develop. So, you know, don't pay attention to what other people say. Like my mom always says, other people's opinions of you is none of your business. And yeah. So, and then we have in our potential future, this card came out sideways, but I did feel it upright, is the Three of Wands. This is a beautiful energy of looking out to the horizon and seeing your little ships coming in. It's an expansive view, and it's kind of going out and getting it, because the wands are associated with fire in the tarot, the fire element, and they talk about movement around a situation, so there is movement here. Threes to me are always progress, but it's the ability after maybe making a decision to kind of live in a more expansive place where you're looking at the big picture, and then to actually be seeing your intentions coming in. So this is a lot of growth that happened between the Seven of Wands energy. So don't give up just because there's things you have to release and identify and walk away from, because what's coming is beautiful. You've created space here is what this tells me, to allow those new opportunities, those new things that are going to light you up to come in. So, woo, I can't stop talking today. All right, and then let's try to do one more card for the potential future. I always get so nervous about like this posting. I wish it just automatically would. Wow, I can't believe that one card came. Beautiful. King of Cups. I love the King of Cups. So Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. This is the water signs. This is the king for them. King of Cups wants to be in a relationship. And not just any old relationship, a healthy one. And this is why I think the beginning of the spread was asking us to clear what was toxic and what was cluttering our mind, because this is what's coming in. This is the progress we're making. We're looking out to the horizon, seeing the ships, and he's on the ship. He's like, hey girl, I'm coming in. And, you know, gender doesn't matter in the tarot. Bad Boy Rob, if you want to message me after the reading, we can schedule a reading for next week, love. But I don't pull, you know, if I did that for you, I have to do it for everyone. But you can totally schedule a reading. Maybe this is your card. I feel like all of these are your cards. Like, the energy in these readings is for the collective. There's definitely something that if you're drawn to this reading that you're resonating with, you know what I'm saying? So King of Cups, what we may be calling in is a relationship, a healthy relationship. And this could be with somebody else, but it also could be with yourself. Hi Thomas, how are you? So you can decide that. And if you have a Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer in your life, congratulations, but it doesn't have to be those signs. The King of Cups is somebody who is peaceful. He's at peace with his emotional truth and is sitting in the power of that knowledge. So when you're in that space of sitting in your own emotional truth and you're ready for the healthy relationship to come in, it will. And it's a matter of, like, you know, it definitely could be with somebody else because of the Three of Wands being such expansive energy, but it starts with you, always. That's what Aries says. So it could also be about self-love as well. So, beautiful energy. I'm going to pull some clarifiers out now. And, hi, Thomas. I'm not going to hit anything because I tried to hit something before and, I was worried I did something, but I don't think I did. But yeah, so we're going to pull some clarifiers. So real quick, just to recap, like in one sentence. Temperance is coming up to say the time is now. Whatever is happening in our experience is meant to be coming up, whether it's for healing, because along with the new moon in Aries, Chiron, the wounded healer asteroid, is also conjunct with this new moon. So it's looking at our wounds and finding where we can allow for healing and release. So, you know, this talks about divine timing, but we're a little bit confused or cluttered, whether that's on purpose, whether that's not on purpose. There's something we're not seeing. And so it's hard to like set intentions when you're not sure what you want. So like there's some sort of area of confusion in our lives, in our mind, really, with our thoughts. But the next card kind of answers what that is. We have to be willing to look at what's toxic in our environment. And to walk away from it. You know what I mean? Because nobody wins if you stay in this energy. You can't stay in this energy. It's the energy of change. So it's time to look at what's toxic so that it can be released. What may be toxic too is us putting too much weight into other people's thoughts and feelings about who we are, what we're doing. It's none of your concern whether people think about you. Don't try to be a people pleaser. I don't think you are, because in this energy you're defending your beliefs. But you don't even have to do that. What's really defending your beliefs is just living your own truth. And so there you have it. And then once you do walk away from what's toxic and stop caring about what people think, you allow for expansive energy to come in. Just with the Three of Wands here, you're looking out to the horizon and you're seeing your ships, your seeds of intention coming in, and that's really exciting because you've created space for that by letting go of something. So beautiful stuff. And then to end it up, makes total sense that we got the King of Cups because he, like I said, I was joking, he's like on the ship. He's coming in. And this doesn't have to be a guy. It could be a woman as well. So, you know, gender in the tarot really doesn't matter. It's not surprising that kings have been showing up, because kings are masculine energy, which Aries, if I had to say, whether it's like a divine masculine or feminine sign, it's very masculine in its energy. So when you get a king and you're like, oh, well, I like someone, but they're a woman, you know, it's somebody who's coming from a place of like linear action. They're connected with their emotions, but they're also good at like taking action towards things, and coming from that stance of like moving through the energy that way. Whereas if it was like a queen energy, there's somebody who's just more receptive and manifests through that. They just literally manifest through being open to it. And there's not one that's right or wrong. It's just, you know, the energy that's present. So this makes a lot of sense. We're taking action to get to a healthy place where we can call in this King of Cups for a healthy relationship with ourselves and with others. Could also be Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer, because cups are associated with water signs in the tarot. It's really good to see you, King of Cups. I always get excited when like the little characters come out. And it doesn't have to be, like I said, a water sign. It's just somebody who knows how to be in their emotional truth, how to live from that place, and therefore is at peace with themselves and their emotions, so they can call in a healthy relationship. All right, now let's get into the Hermetic Tarot. Lord, I'm gonna just pull 3 clarifying cards because this is very clear, beautiful energy. I almost don't want to, but I said I was gonna use these cards. So let me just see if there's anything else we need to know for the lunar cycle ahead. And as always, if you do want to schedule a personal reading with me, just send me a message through Instagram. That's the easiest way. And my readings are very similar to this. Like I pull 2 cards on the recent past, 2 on the present, and 2 on the potential future. And then I do clarifiers where we need clarification. Today's was really clear, but you know, and then we also end on an oracle card. So yeah, I can do that for you today as well if you'd like. Hi, Healing Vibes, how are you? Oh, love you. Thank you for your support, by the way, Healing Vibes. I see you and I appreciate it. All right, so we're at the clarifying stage of this spread right now, so I'm just going to pull 3 clarifiers and go over everything one last time here. Dear God and Goddess, thank you for giving any additional clarity that we need to rock this new moon in Aries, to call in the positive transformation in a way that fuels our desires and passion and releases all that is not in service to that, so that we can call in our own emotional truth, what lights us up, so that we can use that light to be of service to ourselves and love ourselves. Oh, I'm sorry. I just get a text message. Let me put my phone on vibrate real quick here. Cutie. I love my friends. Okay, so here we go. Let's see what comes up. Okay. And then let's be her none. It's done, it's done, it's done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm at home, and so it is. Let me just shuffle. I'm doing 4 times because that is the energy of April. Welcome to April, everyone. I loved March, I have to say. It was an intense month. I feel like I did a lot of emotional healing myself, but it was intense at times, and then it was a great month towards the end. I just love Pisces season into Aries season. Just exciting stuff always seems to happen because after the spring equinox on the 20th, it's kind of like go time, and even a little bit before. It's 2, right? God, I'm so bad at counting. That's the only thing. Like when I'm shuffling and I'm in the zone. These are shuffling so easy. Oh, spoke too soon. 3, and then we'll do one more time. Okay. And also the card associated with Aries in the tarot is the Emperor. So we're figuring out how to be the CEO of our own lives. That's who the Emperor is. He talks about building firm structures and foundations for things that will serve our highest good. Whoa. So many cards have been coming up sideways, and I usually feel like that means they're upright. So we got the 3 of Cups. We've gotten this card a lot lately. So when it comes up sideways, I feel like it's asking you the question, like, where are you with this? And so what is the energy of the 3 of Cups? It talks about celebrating with your friends, with your family, living your life. So I think that this is clarity over the first two cards, so which were Temperance and Ace of Swords in reverse. So, you know, this talks about divine timing and finding balance in your life that's going to serve you. And here we see the block, which is something we're not clear on. So I think that what this is coming in to say is to sometimes the best way to get clarity is literally to go out and have fun. I swear to you. And that is the vibes right now. And it may feel really contradictory to like everything that's going on in the world. Like, oh, do I have the right to have fun? Yeah, you do, actually. The world kind of depends on it. It doesn't mean that you can't donate to, you know, your charity of choice or care, or you know what I mean, be invested in what's going on in the world. You should be. You're a part of it. But you also need to celebrate what you have, because then you are able to hold that vibration, and by you holding that vibration, you're doing your part for calling that into the collective. So please do go out and have fun. And when you're in that space of like having fun, you let go and clarity comes in. Like they're really, the two cannot maintain in the same space. So I kind of love that for us. The Lord of Abundance, it's called. These cards are super intense. I believe that's the lotus flower too, which talks about, you know, lotuses grow in the dirt, and they come from mud. You know, they grow in the mud. It's kind of like, it's about transformation and growing from the deep depths of the earth. You know what I'm saying? And turning into like a beautiful flower. Not to be too cheesy about it, but like, yeah, that's what it represents. So funny, because I have this card up on my altar from New Year's, and I pulled it at the beginning of the year, and it says celebrate your spirit. And I feel like that's been a very major call from me this year. And so the lotus is a sacred plant. And the goddess Lakshmi is often pictured sitting on top of one, as well as the Buddha. This beautiful flower makes its way through the muck of the muddy pond below and emerges open and pristine. It represents spiritual awareness and promotes peace and tranquility. Each night, the pink lotus returns to the depths of the pond, and each morning it arises clean. It symbolizes a pure spirit, and its process represents the cycle of spiritual growth. Work with pink lotus to honor where you are in your soul's journey. Celebrate the progress you've made in the beauty of your spirit, and incorporate spiritual practices like meditation to help you bloom. The message of the pink lotus is your soul's journey is worthy of celebration. Honor wherever you are in your path. You've grown through a lot of mud. Amen to that. And that is what this card is asking you to do. Honor where you are in your path and celebrate. You have grown. We've all been through a lot. This is still important to do. Because like I said, when you celebrate, when you hold that frequency, that vibration, you're doing your part in calling that in for the whole. And it doesn't mean you can, I mean, it's hard to be in that state all the time. Contrast exists in our universe. But when you find yourself getting too weighed down in the mud, that's where there is time for the awareness of that and what you need to do to transmute that energy. And that is simply to have fun. It's the answer a lot of the time. So let's see what else is coming up. Oh, whoa, it's weird. Hold on one second. Nothing actually flew out. Alrighty. Alright. 202. Wow. I had a feeling this video was going to go a little bit longer, but I started a little later too. So, oh. Okay. 2 popped out. All right, I like it. So interesting. We have the Hanged Man, and he is upright. I always have to like do a double take on this card because I'm like, is it upright? Is it not? Because he's upside down. But what the Hanged Man talks about, Major Arcana card 12 of the tarot, it talks about like needing a timeout period to come to like a state of spiritual enlightenment of the answers you need. And so the cards that it's in between are the Five of Swords, and the Seven of Wands. So, like, it might take you a second to figure out what's toxic in your environment and how to walk away or release that thing in a way. And then on the Seven of Wands here, how to not care about what people think as much. Like, maybe there's a process or a thing you can do to kind of get yourself out of that mindset of caring. For me, it's less time on social media. It's hard. Like, you know, I think we've become a society where we care about how many people like our post, because then it gets us more visibility. But something I always tell myself, or try to tell myself, because I go through that too, is that the right people will always be drawn to me. I always set that intention too, that the right people are drawn to me. Like attracts like. And there was a message from my teacher this week. Like, she posted a meme and it was like, you're not responsible for the energy you attract, but you are responsible for the energy you entertain. And I was like, oof, that hit me hard, because it's like, you know, sometimes things come into our environment that we can't help. I mean, like does attract like, but, you know, we can't always be in a good mood. So sometimes we attract something unpleasant, and sometimes it doesn't seem to make any sense why we attracted that thing. But what's important is what we do with that energy that we've attracted. Do we entertain it, or do we just walk away? The medicine here is to walk away, but like the Hanged Man is saying, reflect on what that is for you. Like, really reflect on it, because that could cause a spiritual awakening, which is what the Hanged Man is all about. Like, once he's done hanging around and seeking wisdom, he is enlightened and can move on and allow for those endings to occur, because the next card is the Death card, which talks about endings, not endings of life literally, but endings of a chapter, you know? So we're hanging out. We're seeing what we need to walk away from. So what endings need to occur so that we can call in beautiful new beginnings. So let's go to the last two cards. I mean, the way this spread turned out was really, really beautiful. I almost hate doing the post, because there's no way I could capture like what happens in an actual reading, but not hate doing the post, but it's hard to fit it all in. Like, some people probably tune it out, but I know you guys are into the long descriptions, the details. So here we have the Seven of Cups in reverse, and I actually like to see the Seven of Cups in reverse. Upright, it talks about being confused by all these options that you have, like which one is going to serve my emotional house, my emotional truth, and it's just murky kind of energy. But in reverse, it's the overcoming of that confusion. It's the clarity that at the top of the spread with the Ace of Swords in reverse that we were looking for. So really good stuff. And what that clarity is going to bring, is our ability to look at what's coming in, what we are receiving, and being able to receive our intentions that we've set around our passions and desires, and put us in a really good place where we are in control of our emotions, where we are the King of Cups, and in a place where we can call in a healthy relationship with ourselves and others. So this is a beautiful reading. Alright, I'm going to pull an oracle card I don't even think this one needs it. Let me ask my pendulum. Should we do an oracle card? Yep, that's a no. That's a negative. All right, we're going to close the circle, guys. That was amazing. So, listen. The time is now. So look at what's toxic in your life and what you need to walk away from. The time is also now for releasing your the strength that others' opinions have over you. Time to release that too. Because when you do, this expansive energy comes in. This is you kind of becoming the leader of your own life, allowing for expansive energy and growth to come in, allowing to receive your the ships of your intentions, and maybe the King of Cups is on it if you're really lucky. I mean, and it is on it because this is you. This is you and the other. You know what I mean? It starts with you. And that's what Aries new moon is about. It's starting with you. Hi, Teresa. You just caught me at the end, but I'm definitely going to post this video, so make sure to look out for that. But we've got some good stuff coming. A lot of self-love on the table. The King of Cups showed up, which talks about, you know, fostering a good relationship with yourself, and through that, being in a place where you can welcome in a healthy new relationship. Hey, girl, it's been forever. All right, I'm going to release the guides and guardians and close the circle, and I'm going to post this up for you. Thank you so much for all your guys' support. It was really great seeing you today. I really, really appreciate it. All right, so here we go. I'd like to release the guides and guardians of the spirit element. Thank you for being here today and showing us how to be a co-creator with you, to create outcomes that will fuel our deepest desires in a way that serves our highest good and the highest good of all. I release you from the circle with so much gratitude. Guides and guardians of the north, element of earth, thank you for keeping us patient and peaceful throughout this transformation process. Thank you for letting us come at things from a place where we are able to build firm and strong foundations. I release you from the circle with so much gratitude. Guides and guardians of the west, element of water, thank you for being here today. You definitely showed up in this reading to show us all that needs cleansing and purification, but also that, you know, great emotional healing is coming underway, so much so that we're going to end up in a place that, if we do our work, allows for new love to come in, a greater love to come in for ourselves and for others. I release you from the circle with so much gratitude. Guides and guardians of the south, element of fire, you definitely showed up today too. Thank you for being with us and holding our hand throughout this transformation process and letting us not attach our own worth to the opinions of others, letting us be a true leader in that sense and being able to stand in our own power and letting that speak for itself. Thank you for letting us welcome in new passions, new desires, that just allow for spiritual awakenings and new chapters and transformation to occur. I release you from the circle with so much gratitude. And finally, the element of air, direction of east, guides and guardians who live there. Thank you for bringing us messages about what new beginnings and chapters and doors we can look forward to. And what that seems to be is a deeper relationship with ourselves and others. So thank you so much for that. Thank you for continuing to bring in signs and messages that will give us clarity and point us in the direction of our soul and where our soul is. I release you from the circle with so much gratitude. I release all guides and guardians of love and light. And with that, the circle is closed. The circle is closed. Amen. Blessed be, harm none. It is done, it is done, it is done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amen. And so it is. All right, guys, I'm going to post this. It was a really, really, really good reading. Thank you for joining me. And make sure, if you did join me live, to go back and just hit the little heart button. It would mean the world to me. And thank you for being here. That means the world to me too. And thank you. Yeah, just thank you. I think it's going to be a great new moon. So don't be afraid to look at what comes up for you, because what's on the other side of it, you're really going to like. All right. Take care, everyone.